Hey everyone, Nightlight9 here. In this video, I want to go through summoning strategies or pulling strategies for banners, specifically if you're free to play or no longer spending in the game, if you were a light casual spender, anything in that general realm. And what I want to start with is explaining the difference between just pulling for, to fill one card and maybe get one copy of a weapon that you're trying to get versus saving up and doing bigger pulls less frequently. What I want to start with is looking at things like Mirasame, because when I first started this game, I pulled every single crystal I got on that banner and was able to overboost Mirasame to 2 stars. And it's a weapon that I frequently use on Cloud. Not really the same situation with Maritime Sword, but I will use it as an example for stats and our abilities. That actually, I mostly just got through chance. I was not actually pulling hard for Maritime Sword. I think I did like 4 pulls on that banner in total. But I want to show this. Okay, so Mirasame with, 2+2 overboosted. And then I want to look at the next weapon that I really pulled for, or at least one weapon I pulled for, which was the Halloween banner with Sephiroth and Dark Heavens. Now, I completed one entire stamp card and then stopped summoning. 12 stamps in total. And I only got 1 copy of Dark Heavens. Now, I pulled 1.5 to 2 stamp cards, I think maybe even 2, on the Sephiroth banner when it first came out for Edged Wings. And I will say that I did actually purchase 2 copies of this with red crystals. It's not, I didn't get it to +4 overboost. It's the only weapon I ever purchased this way. And, I didn't get that just by doing pulls. So, in all fairness, but I did get it to +2 overboost. And the reason I'm pointing this out is because it's the same that I got Mirasame to, doing quite a bit of pulls. And what would you rather be using as your, let's say, main weapon? Would you rather be using a weapon that was level 90 with +2 overboost, or a weapon that has no overboost at all? I can tell you the reason I never ended up really running Sephiroth during the wind event, or the events that had wind weaknesses with their enemies, is because at the end of the day, this weapon just wasn't cutting it. What I came to the conclusion of is that it is much better if you're going to pull as a free-to-play player or even a light spender. It's much better to save crystals and pull in big waves, big batches, than to just try to clear 1 stamp card and get 1 copy of a weapon, because it takes forever to get those weapons leveled up. And the best time to get them is when they're featured, because the rate is higher. And so if we're looking at Dark Heavens, for example, what I actually ended up using the whole time, Gale Strike here, right? 440%. That's what it gives you. It gives you a little bit of wind potency, enough to break tier 2. But for sub-weapons, it's almost impossible feeling to try to get up to the 15 mark for level 3. So it just wasn't useful. I ended up using Motor Drive. And if we look at Motor Drive, it starts at 420. And with 1 extra star in the weapon, it goes all the way up to 500. Plus the stats on the left here go up by, about 100 on the first one, or about 80, let's just say, and about equivalent on the second one. Or 70 something. So just 1 overboost here makes this considerably better. The other comparison I'll show is, again, looking at Dark Heavens. We can see that, okay, it's got 24 points to physical attack, 9 to wind potency, and the ability does 440% out of the box. Okay, but if we compare that to, say, Maritime Sword, which, although they're not exactly the same, they're pretty close. We can see with 2 overboosts, this gives us 15 water potency and 26 physical attack. And where it starts is 24-9, which is very similar to Dark Heavens. But there's a huge difference here between this and this, right? Because if we come here, just getting to 26, if you're using this as a main weapon, well, the difference between that and anything under 25 but above 15 is an extra 40 plus 5% physical attack. And then your water potency, which is the whole reason you pulled the weapon to begin with, is 10% higher. That's a huge difference. Not to mention this here goes way up as well, right? I mean, this is 2 overboosted, but we get an extra 80% damage when we use the ability. And that's huge. So to me, it's a no-brainer. If you're only going to be able to pull enough to get 1 copy of a weapon, which unless you get pretty lucky, I think you can expect on the stamp card to get 1 to 2 copies. 1 is your guaranteed copy when you hit it, and maybe you'll get another copy. But most of the time, in my experience, I've ended up with just the guaranteed copy. So if we're using that as kind of our, more or less our metric, I would say with all of these items that we were able to max overboost, even if there are abilities aren't ideal for the content you're facing, that's going to be better than any just regular 5-star weapon. And so you really want, if you're going to pull and maximize for your account, because free to play is all about min-maxing, you want to get the most bang for the crystals that you have. You really want to aim to get a weapon, I would say, +2 overboosted from your pulls. And I can tell you, there's been, some leaks about what this upcoming banner is going to be. I believe it's going to be Cloud and Tifa. Physical attack is going to be the focus. Okay, they both have outfits. They both have weapons. Both of the outfits look like they're going to be boost HP and boost physical ability potency. And as for the weapons, Cloud with Zidane's sword is going to be, maximum when you get it up to its highest. It can inflict up to 1,300% non-elemental physical damage to a single enemy. Whereas Tifa's Amaranth's Claws, we're going to, at max stats, 720% non-elemental physical damage to a single enemy and drastically increase physical attack. So I'm expecting that skill to start off with high potency. I think this banner is pretty amazing. I'm not going to actually cover it till it officially releases, but I will be pulling on that against my own advice because I think this banner is so good and I'm just really hyped for it. And I always advocate that, hey, have fun first and foremost. But for those of you who want to min-max, I can tell you after this banner, I will not be pulling on future banners until I have 60,000 crystals stored. The reason being, it takes 72,000 crystals if you get 1 stamp per pull to clear 2 cards, right? 24 stamps at 3,000 a pull if you're getting 1. Now, I think we could safely assume you'll get at least 2 2-stamp pulls per card. That puts you at 20 pulls to clear 2 cards. That's 60,000 crystals. And that will be my strategy moving forward. I'm only going to pull on banners when I have 60,000 or more crystals because I would much rather be running with a at least +2 overboosted weapon than just a regular 5-star copy that ultimately, I'm getting whatever weakness is there, but without, some sort of outfit or something attached to it. And even sometimes with those outfits, they might or most likely won't be as good as even a free weapon that you've got that's max overboosted, which is again why I always advocate to try your very best when these events come out to get every free copy of whatever event weapon is available as possible. Those are the weapons that I'm using more than anything else in the game right now, aside from typically a main weapon and a secondary weapon, just because we haven't had enough of these free ones to fully slot out the characters that I'm usually using in my main group. So, if you're planning on summoning on this banner tonight, let me know. If you have different thoughts on your strategies for pulling banners or how you like to do it, let me know that too. Subscribe if you would like to see future content, and thanks for watching.